Hello everyone, I'm Brian. I haven't really shown you what's growing in the area underneath the patio here. And I'm sitting in one of the growing areas that hasn't seen a lot of growth. It's mostly because I haven't really spent a lot of time here in getting the plants happy. But today I'm going to transform this into a pond. And a pond is something that I once built and had at my parents' place. And I haven't been able to really do that here because it takes a lot of time to build a pond, and I spend most of that time with my kids. So I thought I'd start small and turn this into a pond, since most of the plants here don't seem to be too happy. I'm just gonna wing it as far as building this pond. I'm sure I'm gonna run into some challenges, and it'll be fun to work through the problems. But first, let me show you what's growing underneath the patio. Oh, also, this pond building has been driven by some plants that I have coming, hopefully in the mail soon. At least I placed the order for these plants. I won't tell you what they are, they'll be a surprise. But first let's go ahead and check out what's growing and what will be relocated for this pond. So in this planter we have a few Clivia plants that are going to be needing to be relocated, and also this leopard lily that was grown from seed, and some dahlia tubers, this citronella plant, and also this Gerber daisy. And if we swing around this way, on the other side there are more planter areas, and in here we have some purple potatoes that I never got around to planting. I just threw the little seed potatoes here, and they've kind of started to grow. And in it is a amaryllis bulb, an amaryllis plant. This is my first amaryllis, and these are her offspring. Got 1, 2, 3, and 4 way in the corner. I'll show you in a second here. This is a volunteer amaranth, some Asiatic lily, and so in the corner, that's another one of the amaryllis offspring. A couple of Clivia, and there's some Clivia pups. These are the orange one, the very typical orange ones. Here are some leopard lily plants that were grown from seed, and this is year number 2 now, I believe, year 2 or 3. So it's kind of interesting how slow they grow. I got the plants originally from Richter's Herbs, and they made flowers for maybe 1 or 2 years, and in the 3rd year they made flowers, went to seed, and then they died off. So this is the legacy of that original plant. Okay, and then so behind over here is another, I'm going to back up a little bit, is another little growing area. And I have my bromeliad and another one of the leopard lilies, and this is an orchid. That was my first orchid. It was gifted to actually my son when he was born by his grandma on his mother's side. And this is my second orchid, and this one I got earlier in the year. Well, these are actually not my first or second. I think this is number 2 and number 3. The first one didn't make it. It died. So that was, orchids are a little bit tricky, but once you know their secret, they're pretty easy to grow, I suppose. And then here is where the rabbit Marble and Bert and Ernie, the Redfoots, reside. So they get along well. They don't fight each other. They fight over food, but other than that, they're not territorial, and they're happy to be sharing this space together. Okay, well, that's my son's mower, and this is my mower underneath this burlap. Okay, I'm gonna start relocating some of these plants, or at the very least just get them out of the ground, and I'll relocate them later in the day. And the first task is to, well, let me show you the equipment that I have starting off. I have this tubing, and then I have this pump. This moves 100 gallons per hour. I was debating whether to go another notch up or not, and it was a difference of 5 watts. So I'm trying to also be mindful of the electric bill. Hopefully I don't regret this, the decision to save the 5 watts, but we'll see how much water it moves. I may have to upgrade. And then the last thing for now, unless I figure out that I need more stuff, is this pond liner. And this one is 7 feet by 10 feet. So the first task will be to take this pond liner and actually spread it over the lawn so that the sun can make it malleable. Well, that was my experience with the last pond liner. I'm gonna open it up and see how malleable this is. If it's stiff, then I'm gonna have to let the sun kind of warm it up so that it's nice and malleable and workable. All right, I'm gonna get to it. I think it's going to take me a while, and once I get all this cleared out, I'll see you again. Just real quick, the pond liner turned out to be thinner than the pond liner that I used to work with, so it doesn't look like I need to put it in the sun to have it workable, so it doesn't need to be in the sun. Okay, I will see you soon. Oh, hey, that was only 3 buckets. We got quite a few to go. I wish I had a wheelbarrow now. I have all the dirt cleared out of this planter now, and I'll take you in for a closer look of what I've done. And you'll see that there is a trench that kind of runs towards the back end where it's sloped up, and that the idea is to let the water move down like a stream. So once again, I won't tell you what I'm preparing this for, but if you want to venture a guess, I won't confirm or deny your guesses. Please feel free to do so. There are some hints in some of the previous videos that I've done about plants that I want to grow, so the hints are over there. Now comes the tricky part, trying to get this pond liner in there. I suppose this is like wrapping a GIF in some way, so probably get my wife to come out and help, because there are probably some nuances that I don't know, and it'll probably take me more time to figure out how to do this. One of the trickier parts, which is probably a lot easier. One of the harder parts is just folding this corner in. My other challenge is to figure out how to make it look nice and hold the liner up against this brick area, so I may have to go to the drawing board. But first, I like to just get my hands in there and figure out what some of the problems are before I have to work through them. Well, it looks like we're gonna have to call it a day as I head to the hardware store to figure out how I'm going to keep the sides of the liner up on the wall of this pond here. So I'm gonna explore a few options. I'm gonna see if we can use epoxy to glue the liner to the wall, to the brick here, or if I have to get some kind of clamp where I'll drill into the brick and then maybe secure some kind of clamp on there. So hopefully find something that's quick and easy, and hopefully I'll see you in the next part of this pond building project, and also secret plant growing area. Okay, and for some of the viewers out there, I hope you can help us with figuring out what this is. I dug this up from this planter, and it looks like a tin cap of some sort, and on it reads Stanley Home Products. So yeah, if you have any information about this thing, I'd love to know what it is, and I'm sure the other folks watching this video would too. So let us know if you know what this is and what product this came from. Okay, I guess I'll see you in the next part.